Okay, everybody, I'm back. All right, so this is a continuation of Coffee with Amanda. I'm hoping you all join me again. Um, so I'm just gonna explain real quick what happened. Hi, Alex. So if you were just watching a minute ago, when I was showing everybody what I like doing and showed the painting. When I came back, I pressed the button on my laptop and everything went dark. So the stream ended and I apologize. And as soon as you guys connect again, ask any questions that you want. And I'm sorry for the interruption. I'm probably never ever going to be a pro at this because I just kind of do me. um, Alex. Oh, you're from the area. We're neighbors. Awesome. Nice to meet you online. um, so I'm just kind of waiting for like Lady Lilac and the others. Alex, a lady. Okay, hi. So I don't know if you heard what happened, but what happened is I as I was showing the picture and everything as it came back, I did the same thing that I do on my phone a lot, and I hit the side button and it just shut everything down. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. It's a painting I've been working on for a while. Pretty excited about it. And of course, lady, do you belong to my Instagram? If not, I will put my Instagram down in the comments. And my Instagram is Amanda J. Richer. Okay. Anybody else have it? Okay. So this is Coffee with Manda. So does anybody else have any questions? Alex, since we're neighbors, do you have any questions? Any questions from anybody? Okay. Well, I'm going to go and I will discuss the rest of harm reduction as I was going to before. So after I got done with Anne, and talked with her and gave her that information. Oh, how do I have my coffee? Oh, how do I like life so far? Hmm, what do you mean? Life is life. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. In all of it, it's overcoming challenges. It's life is difficult, but it's difficult. But so are really challenging puzzles. And, you know, learning things is difficult. Overcoming difficulties is difficult, but there's a lot of amazing things in life too. And I think life is beautiful. Um, how do I have my coffee? I have my coffee, if it's hot, I usually have it with just a little bit of sugar. If it's a frappuccino, I get real crazy with it. And if it's a hot day, I will usually get a grande Java chip frappuccino with coconut milk and 2 extra shots of espresso, definitely with cream on top and chocolate sauce. But there is a coffee shop up in Beacon Hill called The Station, and they have a mocha mexicano that is, oh my gosh, so good. It is delicious, better than any I've had in the area. Um, you have like 8 cups a day. Yeah, I have an insane amount of coffee myself, and that's totally okay. I'll be honest, coffee makes me feel better. I have several inflammatory things going on, and it really does help with stomach issues, especially. It just kind of makes it feel better. Any other questions? Okay. So in today's harm reduction, this is what I learned. I'll just go into what I learned. We learned today that there have been several overdoses. In those overdoses, hold on just a second. In those overdoses, we found that sometimes there was 2 to 3 Narcans used to bring the person out, which means that we might be dealing with carfentanil rather than just fentanyl. Um, the Narcans we passed out saved lives, and there were 3 plus lives saved in the last week. Um, we fed people, um, talked with people, gave out fentanyl testing strips, told people to be safe. We showed compassion. We educated people as well. You know, do I sell my oh, hi David. Do I sell my paintings? Never have. It's something that I just enjoy. Um, that's probably that's kind of like everything that I do. I don't Financial things scare me really bad, including money, talking about money, which means selling things scares me. As soon as it gets talking down to funding or whatever, I get to that point and it doesn't matter whether it's my outreach, whether it be paintings, whether it be two crafts I do. I would just, I know that I'm worthy and it'll, whatever, things will happen. And I don't worry about it. I want to make the world a better place and I just want to be a better human being. And I believe that if that's the course that I take and I continue to take, I will be okay. I know that that is not fiscally sound advice. I know that that's not a normal way of living, but it's the best way that I've found for me. Um, let's see, Lady Lilac. I remember I once saw a homeless man. All he wanted was food. Everyone else ignored him. So I bought a chicken and chips and can of drink. He was grateful for it. That's the thing. And one thing I like to tell people as well, even if you don't have something to give, like tangible, get knowledge or spend time. Like today with Anne, being able to give her and write down a resource, having the bus number that goes out there so she can get on the bus, having ways to support someone just by knowing things and being willing to talk to them and communicate and find out what their needs are and how those can be best be met, even if that's not a tangible need. What if somebody was just to need someone to go with them somewhere? You could give somebody your time, sit down and talk to somebody. um when a oh, hi Kate. Yeah, Kate, just so you know, I did one before this and hit the side thing on my computer and everything went dark. So this one just says continuation, I think. So definitely not pro level, but that's okay. Maria, when a homeless person transitions to home, do they teach life skills? That, well, okay, hold on now, Maria. Hoarding is a mental illness, okay? Not every homeless person struggles with hoarding. I have never struggled with hoarding. I tend to be on the other level of that, and that's giving things away. And it's a problem sometimes. So, not every homeless person is the same way. If a person without a home has that issue, and has a problem with the skills that are necessary in maintaining a household, they are assigned, and most times everybody has a social worker that knows these things. And they go into what's called transitional housing. And that's housing before housing completely. And that's for people who really do need that time to transition from being on the street into a community, into a societal community. So that's how that works. But I get real edgy when people are like, you know, overgeneralize with homeless person is this because we're homeless people or the homeless people, those that are unhoused or without homes at the time, like it's hard for me to say homeless people because it's for me, that's my friends, my fam. Those are, it's not a them. And so I know how diverse and how beautiful it can be, how rough it can be. But it's a really diverse community of a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, a lot of different things. Um, yeah, money, I have some real issues with it. And some of that's due to frontal lobe injuries, but some of that just has to do with some really hard experiences and just the feeling that has always gone along with having to just really be panicked about it a lot. Um, let's see. I can't fear financial stuff, but I want to change that. Yeah, I agree. I want to change it too. But part of that also for me is therapy. Um, I really do have to work on it in therapy and the panic associated and the nightmares associated, things like that. Um, Everyone deserves a second opportunity. We need to love them. I think, everyone deserves love. Whether it's a second chance, third chance, fourth chance, just love somebody where they're at. You know, you don't have to do something for somebody to love them where they're at. You don't have to actually give something other than communication and a little bit of heart and just be there. Be that person. Yes, it is definitely I am not saying that we do not need to give out things because that's imperative as well. I am saying for everybody who thinks I have nothing to give, I promise you have something. Whether that be knowledge, whether that be time, whether that be a smile, whether that be communication, you have something. Um, us high functioning people know how to make having PTSD look easy. I know, right? And I have to say, Jules, you say that, and it's really funny because I did a vlog earlier today before I went out on harm reduction. And afterwards, I called Liz and I was like, whew, I pulled that off because last night I was so sick. I have an inflammatory condition, and a lot of times it'll hit me in the gut. And when I was younger, I was able to eat cereal, like not just granola, but fun cereal. And so, me being the childish adult that I am, went to this. I always shop like, the sale racks and stuff, and they had Captain Crunch berries for half off. And I bought a box. I had a big bowl last night. And it had happened once before, but I can't tolerate red and blue colorings anymore for some reason. It just destroys me. So I got really sick, but then I was like on the blog, I'm like, yeah, this and this. And I'm like trying to pump myself up, and I made it out to harm reduction, even ill. I was like, yes, rocking the looking well look. um, we need more transitional housing. Yeah, we do. There's several. If you, Alex, if you want to know about transitional housing. We have lots and lots of transitional housing. And if you ever know of anybody who needs to go into transitional housing, let me know. And, it takes. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that so very much, honestly. And for anybody else who wants to support my mission, there are usually not on this one, but like in the last vlog, in the description, there's my PayPal, there's the Amazon wish list, all of that. Um, Maria, no, thank you. I appreciate your questions. No, truly, do not. I am. I am one of those people that can seem very aggressive when I am not meaning to. I appreciate your questions. I appreciate being asked questions. I appreciate learning. It really, truly, that's what this is about. This is me wanting those questions and wanting to know what people need to know and how to explain this because there's so much to know. This is a complex issue with a lot of ins and outs. And I don't think it's hard to love people. I don't think it's hard to have compassion, but sometimes, to look in that in a certain light, can be ultra helpful. So please don't think that in any way, shape, or form I appreciate your questions, Maria. Truly, I do. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate that. Um, Thank you, David. I wish people had a heart. And every time I go in public, I get stared at me walks. Now I've developed bad anxiety in public. Lady, I know a lot of people with really bad anxiety who really have a hard time feeling like people are looking at them or making comments and I will say cognitive behavioral helps a lot. And then understanding at a certain point that nobody really cares. Like we used to say when we were unhoused, is if you ever need solitude in the middle of a city, start bawling and go sit on the sidewalk. Guarantee you'll have quiet and silence in the middle of a city. The thing is, people may glance and they may have a view or whatever, but at a certain point, you got to love you. You got to look at your quirks, embrace them, and love them. I don't know how often when I was little, I was told, "You're the most stubborn girl I know. You're the most stubborn person I've ever met." Blah, 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 blah. And guess what? I'm alive because of that. I will stay stubborn. I've had people throughout my life say, learn how to pick your battles. But you know what? By battling so much, I've come so far. There is a point to where you are worthy of love, and you are worthy of love from yourself, not just others. I always try for myself when I get really like hateful towards myself, I try to school myself on how would I treat if this person was going through what I'm going through, how would I treat them? Would I treat them by saying, "Oh, you're so stupid. Oh, get over it. Oh, don't be like that." Of course I wouldn't. Absolutely not. I wouldn't treat anybody like that. So I need to not treat myself like that as well. Learning how to treat myself with loving kindness has been extremely important in dealing with public anxiety. My anxiety isn't caused so much from me worrying about people looking at me. That doesn't really bother me at all. I don't like people being in my space. I don't trust people like coming up behind me and stuff like that's I'm real. I always gotta like know what's behind me. But usually, like Rowan's got my six, so we're good. you know. But no, that's my anxiety issue is I don't like being closed in by a bunch of people or not seeing where the exits are. Um, let's see. Thank you, Kristen. Oh yeah, Alex. Yeah, I was on Mark Horvath did interview me, yeah. Um, were you able to use the test strip? Yes, yes, Bill, thank you. We did. As a matter of fact, I had the stats on it as well. We handed out quite a few. I think it was 65 fentanyl testing strips. Yeah. Yep. 65 fentanyl testing strips, and we usually only carry 25. And a half hour while we were there, within a half hour, there was an OD that required 2 Narcans and the 911 or the paramedics that arrived to also administer IV. And that's finally when the guy came around. These things are weird. Thank you. It saved lives today, truly. Um, I had been abused and became very cynical. Any insight or advice? Um, it's a very personal thing. I'm cynical to a point. Um, I think the thing is realizing that each situation where I was victimized or abused was unique in its own way. Um, it was not a reflection on me as a person. And here's where a lot of people are not going to agree with me, and that's okay. I'm not one for forgiveness. Um, I don't believe forgiving people is my business. I just feel that if I've been victimized, that person is no longer allowed to have my attention, my space, or anything else from me or of me. I don't feel the need to, I'll grieve about it and I will heal in my own time. I don't need to let go of anything. I will learn from what I'll do me. So I guess, I mean, I don't know what cynicism is, but for me, being able to feel strong in being a survivor and being able to feel like I have my own way out of this and I don't have to do what others think is correct for me because it doesn't work for me. Um, I've healed a lot, and that actually it healed me so much. Like I don't know how many years I got hurt. You just gotta forgive. You just gotta forgive. You just gotta let go, and it just never worked until I was like, no, I don't. I can just be okay. That's it. Like I can just be me. I don't have to like do all that. I don't have to. I can just be all right, and it's okay. And if I want, I still don't have to like that person. I can still hate them. But in that, doesn't really happen. I mean, I just don't care about the person at all. Probably because my father's dead, but whatever. Um, let's see. I need to write a book. The problem with that is that at this juncture, because of the brain injuries, I still have a very hard time writing. Writing is very difficult for me, and so speaking is much easier for me. Um, I tend to be very wordy. So almost to the point of excessive amounts. Do I ever think I'll have a relationship in the future? Um, yeah, maybe. I have been in a relationships a lot in my adult life, and many, almost all were traumatic. Um, I am finally beginning to have a really healthy relationship with myself, and I'm enjoying it. That being said, there are times where it would be so nice to chill with somebody and have that connection. The problem with that is I am very moody when it comes to that, and so I don't know. I don't know. Right now I'm learning. I'm really enjoying this time that I can have with me and Rowan, of course, because I mean she's just part of me. Hi, Akshay. Yes, Maria. And hi, Kristen. Street smart, yeah, right. Like the thing is I believe that safety is definitely an illusion, but I also believe in check your sides, check your back, make sure because safety is an illusion. Even if it feels safe, it's not always safe. Know your surroundings. Observe your surroundings. Know your surroundings. Be aware of things that are happening around you so important. um, she says the definition of forgiveness, not loving. It may be the definition of forgiveness, but here's the deal. I hate the word forgiveness. It was I was bullied with that word as a kid. I think it was from the heavy Christian influence, but it to even yeah, I can't even get with if that's the definition of forgiveness, fine. But I won't use that word. I don't like it. It gives me such a feeling of just ugh, I don't want to forgive anybody. I refuse. I refuse to forgive. I let things go and whatever like it can handle, they can handle, the universe will handle it. The world will handle it. I don't have to. Um it's real as the Seattle rain. Yeah, right. It's only people that are busy have to forgive them. The first to get a lawyer, someone does wrong. I think, it is semantics. I understand Kate is right. It is a definition. It's just that, I think we have like sometimes a visceral reaction to maybe it being used in the wrong way. I remember being told that I needed to every night pray for their forgiveness. Mm, mm, no. And that, but that's as a kid, and that's another thing. Things as a child shape you as an adult. They do. And as much as I've been through, like, I'm telling you, I am a huge supporter of therapy. I've been through lots of therapies, and it's important. It's important to understand why certain things resonate and cause those reactions. Um, the way I see it is you gotta love yourself for learning those sections of tools. With cognitive behavior, part of it is changing the way you think with stressful situations. Yes, it is. But there's DBT too, and that's dialectic, which is like the newer, better one, I guess. And it's actually an offshoot of cognitive. Cognitive behavioral therapy rocks. Honestly, it's amazing. And I learned my first go around with it. I learned something very valuable, and it saved me. And it was something so obvious. Just because they say it does not make it true. Just because they say it doesn't make it the truth. Just if they say you're worthless, that doesn't make it true. That's just something somebody says. And so what it does is it's the study of why we have the cognitive behaviors that we do. And if you've ever looked into like cognitive biases, we all have them. It's ways of thinking. And when you get into cognitive behavioral, you start realizing that your experiences in the past shape the way you react to different things today. And once you can identify those reactions and say, oh, well, this happened and I'm reacting in this way. It's not about this happening, it's about it cementing this behavior. Once I can recognize that behavior and that cognitive behavior, whether that be a bias, a train of thought, a physical behavior, I can then identify that and work on fixing it through measures of, retraining myself, um, understanding where it's coming from so that it doesn't happen again, things like that. Uh, okay, we can have you record all your stories for your book and have them all transcribed. I could do something like that. The problem with that is like, okay, I'm wordy. And so I could see it being like a novel real quick because I won't shut up. And it's a long story and it's a really big story. Like I've had kind of a crazy life. It's been real. So, need to come up with a new word because a lot of people are hung up. Yeah, I agree, and I honestly think that through that, like, I think I just had to grieve. I had to grieve and understand that, and I let myself, and that was part of it too. I needed to let myself be angry. You know, anger wasn't really allowed, but I was angry. I was angry that people hurt me. I was angry afterwards. I grieved that it happened. And I think that that's a really important process is to allow people to, really feel that feeling and understand that sometimes it takes a lot to process and there's going to be anger for a long time and grieving for the person you were before that trauma, whatever that trauma was, took place because it does change us. It changes us deeply. Um, Thank you, Kate. Do I smoke weed? Yes, I am a marijuana user. Mhm. I absolutely am. I support it. It has made such a huge difference in my brain and injuries and my cognitive being. I do take seizure medication, but I take it for maintenance because my last EEG was clear. Since I've moved into a legal state and had that, I am no longer, I don't have to take my Topamax anymore. There's several medicines that I don't have to have. I don't have, it's fine. I still have to be on, my Humira, but I don't have to take any other, like, opiates or anything like that. Um, I had CBT change my life. Yeah, CBT is amazing. I'm looking into DBT too, but I've had a lot of it's been with the doctor's appointments, I've kinda taken a break. Everyone in some way has been abused, either mentally or physically. Um, okay. I think that everyone goes through traumas in their life, but I know for a fact that not everyone scores a 10 on the ACEs. Maria, if you'd like, there's a thing called the Adverse Childhood Experiences Study, and it is a test that'll tell you where you score on that, and the higher your score, the more challenges and physical ailments and mental ailments you will experience later in life, and that is proven. So there is a way of measuring it, and that, oh, okay, we're gonna hide that. Let's see, and I agree. Try to look right. What is my morning routine? What do I have for breakfast? Oh, right. Okay. This is happening right here. I have coffee. That's what I have for breakfast. I have coffee, then I have another coffee, and then I think about the morning some more and realize that I'm not in danger and that I'm not going to die, and I have some more coffee. Mornings are really difficult for me still. I don't know when necessarily that's gonna get better. Um, Really, I am blessed that they have come out with the medications that they have for stuff like this. I remember before, and I don't wanna be there ever again. So, mornings are hard to eat. I don't really eat in the morning. Pretty much just drink coffee and realize that my world's okay and that I'm okay and things are gonna be okay and I'm doing great. Um, I think my cat likes the sound of your voice every time I watch a video. Oh, hi, kitty. I have coffee breakfast too. Coffee and a fat blunt. Um, I'll be honest, I don't smoke a lot of flower. I tend to just go with the marijuana oil because it's very quick and it's like one and done, and I get on with my day. Um, and I do like CBD, things like that. As a matter of fact, this right here, if anybody needs to know, is freaking amazing, amazing. And this is a CBD cream, and it's got willow bark and ginseng and hawthorn. And this one that I've had is one of the absolute best for inflammation in the neck, spine, shoulders, things like that. It would be good to correlate that childhood trauma levels with they have, Bill. If you need the studies, we have it. That research has been done. The ACEs study in correlation with homelessness is high, high, high. Um, Almost every single person as a matter of fact, I don't know of one that has not experienced adverse childhood trauma that's been homeless. Um, and it's funny because even like I met one person, they're like, well, I was on my own at 13, but if I would have listened, I'm like, you're a child. 13's a child. That's an adverse experience. That's not, 13 is not when your childhood ends or shouldn't anyway. So, but when we look at it at that lens, we do find that it definitely it definitely fits into the whole picture. Same as care, aging out of foster care. I never in a million years when I was that age would have guessed that. Well, mm, no, I wouldn't have guessed. I thought I still had control. I thought that my past didn't matter, my experiences didn't matter, that if I was just tough enough and strong enough and push that out of the way and, no fear, go for it, that it would be okay. It'd be fine. I wouldn't be affected. But the truth is, you know, like my first accident, when I talked to my aunt and uncle, they're like, "Oh, we thought that you were doing fine." I know everybody did because I acted like I did.
until I wasn't fine, and I so wasn't fine. Um, Had it far earlier in life. Yes, yes. Not every Christian is Christian. Not everyone that goes to church applies Bible fundamentals like anything else. People use their religion. Yes, absolutely. But see, I think it's not just in religion, but we find it in a lot of places. Anytime that you have access to the vulnerable, predators go where there's prey. So, yes, you'll have a group of wonderful people, but I mean, if you have vulnerable people, there's going to be a predator somewhere circling, trying to get in there, whatever the case may be. It's animals. And we're an animal. It's a thing. I may have to try that someday. I usually take ibuprofen. Ibuprofen, I only take very rarely because it really tears up. Any of the NSAIDs tear my stomach up really, really bad. So I just try to go with whatever is just easiest and can make me feel better with the absolute least amount of side effects. Um, I'm just wrecked. I'm not looking for side effects. um, should I get oh, okay, hold on. What's my favorite singer and what's my favorite movie? Man, that's such those are hard questions. I'm one of those people that really just doesn't have favorites. Um, I don't have a favorite singer. I listen to such a variety of music and each in their own way is this amazing. Yeah, it's hard. I just really don't have favorites. And movies, I have hard time with movies because you really got to pay attention. I do better with like short sitcoms or something, or maybe like, oh, you know what? Recently, Ricky Gervais' Humanity is a good one. I really liked that. I thought that was pretty great. Um, should I get a job at the age of 14? That depends on a lot of factors. And what are you talking about a job? I mean, I think that's really in question. Age 14, I really believe is an age where kids should be at school. Um, I understand that if somebody is homeless at that age, that they may have to do cash labor. But I really think that that's not no, nobody should be working at 14. At 14 years old, they should have a good family structure and societal support so that they can learn and learn from their environment and learn from school. So that's what I think. I think people should have a supportive environment, so that's not the case. Um, Thank you, Maria. We don't talk about such things. Yes, exactly. Yep. Now it's your time to give back. Oh, yeah. Okay. Please finish your thought about aging out of foster care. Okay, yeah, that's what I was saying. Aging out of foster care was hard. I didn't think that I thought I had overcome it. They said I wouldn't graduate high school. Almost didn't. I did. I ran away across the United States at age 15, got back to Montana at 16, went into Job Corps, finished in 9 months, and graduated early. And I think I was fueled a lot by the, "Well, you've got this. You're so strong. You're doing everything early. You're ahead of the game. You're this, you're that." But no attention was paid to the trauma that had occurred. And I was at the point where I didn't trust anybody at all to help me at all. Foster care had wiped my trust in humanity a lot. It was a rough experience. So not that and I'm not going to say that I had horrible families by any means, but just foster care in and of itself is extremely traumatic. It is extremely traumatic. You can have the best family in the world, and it is still a very traumatic situation. Um, do I Netflix? Yes, I do. I also Hulu. um, I'm not sure who Josh Groban is. I was a paper boy at 14. I know a lot of, yeah, okay, but a paper boy. It's hard work, but then again, same thing. Does it interfere with school? Is the person, each kid is also really different. I know kids that could definitely handle that at 14, and I know kids that absolutely could not. So, I mean, I really think that that decision is one that has to be made in depth. That, it's hard to make decisions like that when you're just talking like off the cuff, because there's so many factors that go into so many things to be able to make, a rational decision. And that's part of like, being able to be a critical thinker and having, good cognitive